Hey, good Wednesday morning. Different Wednesday. We normally have a Bible study at 11 a.m. and repeated at 7 p.m. No adult Bible study today, but we're inserting a memorial service for Bud White where our 11 a.m. Bible study would have been, and we canceled it actually for Bible school. And so now we're having a memorial service. Our VBS team put up decorations for VBS. We undecorated at least one room last night, and so we still have 2 nights of VBS left and working this memorial service, this funeral in as well. Our Bible reading today is Deuteronomy chapter 29. And in Deuteronomy 29, Moses is winding down. He's bringing his last few messages in these last few chapters of Deuteronomy. And he says chapter 29 is really a historical recounting as well as a prophecy. He goes over the 40 years that they've been in the wilderness. He said, 40 years we've been in this wilderness. God's fed us, God's protected us, God's taken care of us, and he's provided for us. But then he's going to build into, hey, when the day comes that you're uprooted for your disobedience. And then we lead into chapter 30 where he talks about bringing Israel back, which I preached the first 6 verses of that on Sunday. But a great chapter in chapter 29. I guess one of my favorite sections is verse 5, where he says, 40 years the Lord has led you in this wilderness, and your clothes have not worn out, nor have the sandals on your feet. Well, the Israelites would have certainly had a much more laborious existence than we have. And I have clothes that, well, one of our VBS leaders last night, I've been at New Friendship Baptist Church a long time. I remember when we had shirts printed that had the church steeple on the back and celebrated our 165th anniversary. Next year we celebrate our 200th. So this t-shirt's 35 years old, 34 at least. And so I marveled at it that she'd taken care of it for that long. And if you keep things dry and don't stain them up by working in the yard in them and things like that, they'll last a good long time. But that's an unusual thing. To wear that t-shirt every day for 34 years, to live in that t-shirt, that would have been a much different story than having it in a drawer and taking care of it and those kinds of things. But verse 5 says, 40 years Israel's been in this wilderness. Their clothes had not worn out, nor have the sandals on their feet. And they didn't have automobiles, and they weren't all riding livestock. They were on their feet. And God took care of the things that they had, made them last, because they needed them to get to where God was bringing them. And one thing, I'm preparing my message already for the 26th. That's the next Sunday that I will preach, is the 26th. And one thing that God is showing me to deliver from Joshua chapter 5 is just that how that he protects us, and how that he takes care of us, and how that when we're following him and doing the right thing, that he is able to work things out in our favor. That doesn't mean that things always seem favorable to us. It doesn't mean that we never get sick. It doesn't mean that we never have a flat tire. But it does mean that God is able to extend what we have so that we never find ourselves in want. I'm sharing from Psalm 37 today at the funeral, where God talks about the man of God. The psalmist says, I've walked with you and I've never seen the righteous forsaken. I've never seen his seed begging. So anyway, hey, I hope you have a great Wednesday. Continue to pray for the White family. May see you at the funeral a little bit later. Continue to pray for VBS. We've got 2 nights left, and God's been good to us. So have a great Wednesday. God bless.